All right, welcome to Ringside Report MMA. Tonight on the show, we preview UFC 254, and I tell you why Khabib's losing this weekend. Let's go! Yeah, all right, let's go, guys. What's up, guys? Let's start the show. Whoa, wait a second. What? Hey, there we are. There's
Surprise!
Freddie. There's AJ. I'm Dave. I'm pumped, guys. This weekend is a big one. UFC 254, Khabib time. Justin Gaethje, the UFC 155-pound championship in the main event. It's a massive fight. I'm very excited. We got to watch along. It's in the afternoon. We don't have to stay up late. You know, we're all dads of young children. We don't want to be staying up late to watch these UFC shows. We want to watch them in the afternoon, and the UFC is delivering for us. 2 p.m. Eastern time this Saturday. We're going to be doing a watch-along right here on the channel, and we're here to preview UFC 254 for you. Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. AJ is ready. He's all dressed up as Khabib. I've got the championship here with me, the UFC belt. Fred has Cracker Jack, and he is ready. He is ready and pumped to go. It is UFC 254 weekend. It's the return of Khabib Nurmagomedov, the undefeated Russian, trying to extend his undefeated streak, extend his UFC championship defense streak, and beat the very tough Justin Gaethje, who just took out Tony Ferguson. Gaethje 31, Khabib is 32 years of age. These guys are in their prime. It's a big-time fight. Dana White saying it's going to trend to sell a bunch of pay-per-views. But I want to get to the predictions. I want to get to the pick. I don't want to mess around. I don't want to wait. I want to get to it.
You want to steal my pick, man.
I'm not stealing your pick, Fred. This is my pick.
I'm just saying. I've been saying for weeks that
I like it.
I've been saying for weeks that if Gaethje manages to keep this fight standing up, I got Gaethje winning. So I'm gonna go right out before you say it and pick Justin Gaethje by KO.
Yeah.
Round 3.
What?
I like
you
it.
guys
And
are
I'm
on crack. What are you taking? Like John
Take it
Jones juice?
take it easy,
Seriously?
AJ.
Ooh.
You'll get your
Smash that, not
chance.
AJ, it's Khabib's.
I want to
AJ's
give a
in the
shout out.
closet.
Give a shout out to everybody watching. I want to know your picks. Send them to me on the chat. Everybody watching us right now live on YouTube. Everybody watching us right now on Facebook Live, on Twitch as well. Go subscribe. I see our Twitch subscribers are there on the screen down there. See below me. Oh, I pointed the wrong way. Below me over there. See that? Those are some of our recent Twitch subscribers. Twitch.tv/Ringside Report. We appreciate you subscribing there on Twitch, subscribing on YouTube, and all those things. Shout out to Helium Siam on the chat. Woods MMA UK. I see you. Fizz Gig says Khabib probably smash. Lorne Cronish out in Côte St. Luc. What up, Lorne? Sebastian Rouillard loving AJ's Halloween costume right now. He says Halloween's not today, AJ, but he's ready right now.
No, I wear this often.
This is not Halloween. And Halloween, you know, AJ just likes to dress up, Halloween or not. It doesn't really matter. But, Freddie, I'm with you, man. I've got Khabib going down this weekend. I think Khabib is going to lose. I think Justin Gaethje is a very bad matchup for him. I think Gaethje probably puts him away. I think Khabib probably gets knocked out, loses by TKO. I think Gaethje is the – I don't think I know that Gaethje is the best wrestler that Khabib has ever fought in the UFC. He is the highest level collegiate wrestler that Khabib has ever faced, probably in mixed martial arts. And he's got some serious hands. I think he's a better striker than Khabib is. And Fred is right. You know, if Khabib doesn't do what he does to everybody else, he's going to be in big trouble. He's got that takedown. He's got the ability to take you down and take the life out of you. He's got the ability to tire you out. And Khabib will tell you, he says before the fight what his game plan will be. I'm going to take him down, I'm going to tire him out, and I'm going to choke him out. And that's Khabib. That's what Khabib does. But Khabib has never fought a guy like Justin Gaethje with the wrestling pedigree that he does, with the ability that he does. And Justin Gaethje is going to keep Khabib backpedaling. He's going to keep the center of the octagon, which is what he needs to do to avoid being pinned up against the fence and taken down. Khabib likes to stick that jab in your face, push you up against the fence, run in, shoot you, take you down, shoot in very quickly. He's got an amazing shot. He's very quick. He's an amazing wrestler. Amazing. But, he hasn't really faced anything like Justin Gaethje before. And you've seen in previous fights with Khabib when guys like Conor McGregor or Dustin Poirier got aggressive on him, when they made him backpedal, when they started really pushing the strikes and really, pushing Khabib back and taking the center of the octagon, they had success, and that's what you have to do to Khabib. You can't take a guy down if you're backpedaling, right? You can't take a guy down on your back foot. You have to be moving forward to score a takedown. So if you don't allow Khabib to move forward, if you keep Khabib backpedaling, he's going to lose the fight. And I think that's what Justin Gaethje is going to do. That's what he's very good at. He's very good at staying aggressive, at pushing the pace, at implementing his game plan. And what he did to Tony Ferguson was a work of art. What he was able to do to Tony Ferguson was another level of Justin Gaethje. I watched the Eddie Alvarez fight, and I watched the Tony Ferguson fight, and it's two different guys. The footwork is totally different. The defense is totally different. It's a different guy who's more careful, and it's a championship-level fighter. The guy who fought Eddie Alvarez and lost was a guy who was a very good fighter, a very good athlete, but a bit of a brawler, a guy who went in there and fought. The guy who beat Tony Ferguson was a world championship-level fighter, and that's the guy that's going to show up and beat Khabib Nurmagomedov on Saturday afternoon. I am
Coach,
pretty convinced of it.
Let me in.
Go ahead, AJ, and you
Coach,
tell me
let me
why
in.
I'm wrong. Look, you tell me why Khabib is going to take him down, and why Gaethje, who's an NCAA Division I All-American, is not going to be able to stop the takedowns of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Wait. First, I'm going to say this first thing because Freddie's going to love this. I've been waiting to say this joke since you started your shtick there. First of all, you were talking about Twitch people under your desk. There's one guy in this world that will love hearing that, and that's Bill Clinton. And I know
What?
Freddie will like that one.
Under my desk?
Under the desk, Bill Clinton? Come on, Dave, get with it.
I wasn't
It's
talking about
election
any.
night.
There's nobody under my
Or
desk.
election debate night.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was
Okay, now
work on your comedy.
Let me get back to let me get back to the Khabib thing. What do you mean work on my comedy? I thought that was awesome.
Go ahead.
Listen, first of all, let me explain something to you. Talking about how great wrestling is for Gaethje, which is true, but let's be serious here. Somebody asked Khabib at the press conference, "What's the difference between Dagestan wrestling and American style wrestling?" And he said it really well. There's a huge difference. First of all, Justin Gaethje is an accomplished wrestler in college, a Division I NCAA champion, no doubt about it. College, high school level, he was a champ. But you're fighting Khabib, and Khabib explained it perfectly well. Dagestan wrestlers is this. If you look at the fight between DC and Stipe, DC as an American wrestler, which I love wrestling in general. But when DC wasn't able to accomplish that, he took him down with that single, but he couldn't keep him down. He got up and DC was gassed. The rest of the fight, he was all done. And that's what he was trying to say, is that the difference with Dagestan wrestler is this. They'll take that takedown. If for some reason they don't finish it, he's going to keep going at it 100 times through that fight. And that's the difference with these guys. These guys don't gas out. So even though you say that Justin Gaethje is probably the best wrestler that Khabib has ever encountered, this is not the best wrestler that Khabib has ever encountered. Khabib has fought with the best in Dagestan, Sambo champion. This guy has been at war with the best in the world. And you know what? People keep saying Justin Gaethje's wrestling. You know what? It's amazing. To anybody, myself or anybody on this panel, he'd smash us. But the Khabib, let's not forget, you're wrestling Khabib. That does not tire out. And that's the difference between Dagestani wrestling and American wrestling.
But you're saying that
MMA.
that Khabib has faced better wrestlers in wrestling. I'll give it to you. Maybe
Listen.
Khabib is a better wrestler than Justin Gaethje, But Justin
Not
Gaethje
just
is
better,
a good enough
great wrestler.
Justin Gaethje is a good enough wrestler to stop a couple takedowns. And when Khabib gets hit in the face and he can't defend himself, it's going to be a whole different story. When Justin Gaethje, implements his superior striking on Khabib, it's going to be a problem for Khabib. And we have seen this. Khabib is very good at what he does. But as far as a well-rounded mixed martial artist, I don't know how well-rounded he is. He's very good at the ground game. His takedowns, his ability to hold you down, his ability to beat you up on the ground, like his ground and pound is very good, and his ability to submit you and finish the fight, very good as well. He tires you out, and he knows when to sink in that choke, and he goes for a lot of neck cranks, and he's nasty on that back mount or that kind of half back mount he does with the wrap around with the arm. Khabib is very crafty on the ground. He's very, very good. But standing up, he's not the best 155-pounder standing up. And it's going to be, look,
let's not forget.
He's not the best.
Well, let's not forget, he knocked down Conor, who has the best striking between
Gaethje, what that was.
Alia Quinta,
what
Dustin
that
Poirier.
was. Come on, man. That was.
Listen.
Tell me.
Khabib's
what
boxing
was that?
skills have gotten way better. No doubt about it. His stand-up is just as good, as Justin Gaethje's. Justin Gaethje, it was not a striker when he got into the MMA world. He was a wrestler. He has wild punching, man. He likes to go wild. He goes bananas. And if he does that against Khabib, Khabib is going to push him up against the octagon. What happened? We got a super chat already. Awesome.
Yeah.
Listen,
Patrick C. Hamilton says, my money's on Khabib. Patrick's with you, AJ.
And look,
Fred, I want to hear from Fred. Fred, go get him.
The smart money is probably is on Khabib. But I feel, me and Dave probably feel like Justin Gaethje's got enough wrestling defense where he's going to stuff a couple of takedowns. And from there, I wonder, is Khabib really going to continue pursuing the takedown? AJ, you say yes. I don't know. Once a guy gets frustrated and doesn't accomplish his goal, often he'll go to another strategy. So I think from there it's going to be mostly a standing fight, and that's where I think Justin Gaethje will take over. But a lot of it will have to do with whether or not Khabib gets the takedown, and if he gets tough early, will he continue to pursue it? Because he has to bring Justin Gaethje to the ground. I disagree with you, AJ. I don't think Khabib is one of the elite strikers at 155. He's gotten better, but Gaethje is a much better striker.
I agree 100%. Fred, bringing it again. Oh, we're back in the spaceship. Hey,
Freddie, let me say something. Let me say something like Trump is going to be blocked out tonight the same way. Listen, I didn't say he's the best striker in that division, but he's gotten way better, enough to have knocked down Conor. And let's not forget, the game plan for Khabib never changes. From what his father told him his game plan would be, is going to be the same one he's going to execute on Saturday.
Yeah,
it's basically
plan.
Very simple. Take the opponent down, smash him, and if it changes, repeat if necessary. Very simple. Take him down and smash him. Once that top guard goes on him, it's the top half guard, it's done, man. This is the difference. I think it was Alia Quinta that said, fighting Khabib with Khabib on top of you is like having Matt Serra, who's one of the best grapplers out there, at 400 pounds putting complete pressure on you. That's the thing with Khabib. He knows how to use his angles so well in wrestling. Obviously, he learned that fighting bears as a kid, that he's able to put so much pressure on you. And when he gets that top half guard, which he's going to get on Gaethje, and let's not forget, you talk about a striking game. Who knocked out Gaethje? Dustin Poirier. What did Khabib do to Dustin Poirier? He mangled him and then choked the shit out of him.
But he didn't knock him out. Expecting. He didn't outstrike Dustin Poirier. When Justin Gaethje has lost fights, he has been outstruck. Okay? And after seeing what Justin Gaethje did to Tony Ferguson, I'm not seeing anybody right now at 155 outstriking Justin Gaethje. I think Conor might give him a couple problems standing up, but even then it's going to be a whole different ball game because Gaethje is more well-rounded. And you talk about, well, Khabib is a better wrestler. I will concede that Khabib is probably going to beat Justin Gaethje in a wrestling match. He is probably a better wrestler than Gaethje. But I would say that Gaethje is a much better striker than Khabib. And if you were to level it in video games, like say Khabib is 100 of a wrestler, Gaethje is say a 90, okay? But striking, Gaethje is a 98 and Khabib is a 78. There's a bigger gap. There's a bigger gap in the skills as far as what Khabib brings and what Gaethje brings. Khabib has great wrestling, but I think Gaethje's wrestling is going to be good enough to keep it standing long enough to hit Khabib, hurt him, and put him down. Because when it is standing up, when Khabib's takedowns are stuffed and Gaethje's able to stand up with him, he's going to hurt him because Khabib doesn't have the striking ability to deal with Justin Gaethje. If Tony Ferguson didn't have the ability to do it, Justin Gaethje, or Khabib doesn't have the ability to do it. And I told you guys for a long time, Tony Ferguson was going to be the guy to beat Khabib. I believe that Ferguson was going to do it. He never got the shot because Justin Gaethje came in and did it. Now Justin Gaethje's going to come in, took it from Ferguson. He's going to take the belt from Khabib. He's going to take this belt right here, my belt, from Khabib.
No, Dave. And you know why? Look, the only weakness that could come about this fight is if Khabib does not decide to close the distance and keep him up against the octagon to take him down. If this fight stays in the center of the octagon, which I think Gaethje is going to want to, that's going to be his method to win, is to fight in the center and to use his leg kicks. If he keeps using those leg kicks and peppering him and taking away Khabib's lead leg, then it'll be a different fight. But I'm going to tell you something. This is the difference here. The difference with Gaethje is he comes out like a lion in the first round. Second round, third round, fourth, if he goes, he starts to decline. Conor, the same thing. Starts strong,
did he in the Ferguson fight? Did you see the Ferguson
Poirier,
fight? Did he decline in the Ferguson fight?
He didn't have to because he took away Ferguson's life. You're right. That was a clinic. But you know what? That was a last-minute fight. I think there was a lot of factors that took Tony Ferguson out of that game. But hear me out here. The difference with Khabib is this. From the first round to the last round, he just gets stronger and more vicious and whatnot. So if Justin Gaethje cannot do what he needs to do in the first round, which is KO Khabib, forget it, man. Second and third round, Khabib is going to do exactly what he does all the time. A simple strategy. Take your opponent down and smash him. And he's coming off with a lot of emotion too, guys. I know there's a lot of things about his dad passing away and whatnot. But I'm telling you, man, I was looking at the interviews and the press conferences, and I could tell you something with Khabib. Khabib was always calm. Now, I just find him so much more calmer. There's something about him that scares me. This guy is coming in, and he's going to be more vicious than he's ever been. He has a reason to win this fight, man, and he's going to do it in honor of his father, and I'm telling you, the 29th win will be this one, and his 30th win will be if he fights GSP for that 30th fight. And I'm telling you, you heard it from AJ first.
Freddie?
You mentioned all these things, but I'll tell you what, Justin Gaethje, his 2 losses against Poirier and Alvarez, I think both of those guys are better strikers than Khabib. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Khabib is that good of a striker. So I'll repeat myself. If it stays standing up, I think Gaethje got this pretty. He's going to win either by TKO or by decision. But if it stays standing up, he's got this. And look, if Khabib manages to get the takedown, then yes, of course, it's going to be Khabib's fight. But I'm banking on the fact that Justin Gaethje is going to be able to stuff the takedown early and frustrate Khabib.
Yeah. I'm with you, Fred. I'm with you. I agree. I think, whoa, Fred is spinning.
Sorry, I just gotta.
That's Friday, all right, what's up, man? That's gonna be Gaethje at the last minutes of being choked out. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Hold on. Look, hold on, AJ. Hold on.
What?
My charger wasn't working, so I had to charge before you lost me for good.
Khabib could definitely win this fight. He's got great wrestling. He's won all of his fights previous to this. He's got a chance to win, for sure. He's the favorite going into
Everybody
it.
has
I'll
a
give you
chance.
the odds here in a second. He's for sure the favorite going into it, and I understand why. But there's a lot of factors that
But let's
people
not
aren't.
forget.
A lot of times big favorites with big win streaks lose, and not everybody sees it coming. But if you really look at this fight, man, I think Justin Gaethje has the ability to defend some takedowns from Khabib. Now, if he can't, well, it's over. He's fucked. It's over. He's got no chance, right? If he can't defend a takedown, well, he's in big trouble, and he's for sure going to lose. But I think he's going to be able to defend some takedowns and win the fight. Khabib minus 310, Gaethje plus 255, the favorite. Yeah, AJ, go ahead. God damn it,
Coach.
What?
Somebody actually brought up a good point on Facebook. Sebastian Rouillard. He says, "Is it a small or big cage?" Because they're fighting in Flash Forum, it's the smaller cage, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's the case, this gives an edge to Khabib. So if it's that smaller octagon, I'm telling you, Khabib is going to win this a lot quicker than 5 rounds. Good question, Sebastian.
We'll see. I don't know. I think it is the small
But that
cage.
makes a difference. That's what I'm saying. That was a good one. And it is a smaller cage, so
All right.
you can't run that much.
Well, there it is. UFC 254. Freddie and I are both going with the underdog, Justin Gaethje, to pull off the big-time upset and end Khabib Nurmagomedov's undefeated streak. We like the matchup. Khabib has never faced any type of wrestler like Justin Gaethje in the UFC.
Yeah.
Never.
Dave.
What? Am I wrong about that?
I mean, look, am I wrong? No, you're not wrong about that. But it's not enough to say that his fight with Tony Ferguson, which was a great fight, is enough to say, oh, he's that much of a good wrestler. He hasn't used any wrestling in all his MMA fights. He just comes out like a firecracker, and he throws these heavy punches and goes wild, and he just like overwhelms his fighters and wins. Tony Ferguson was a very different Justin Gaethje. He was calculated. He was picking his shots.
Yeah.
He cut him down. There's no doubt about it. If he could fight that fight with Khabib, well, then it could be a dangerous game.
Why wouldn't
but
he?
But you know what?
Why wouldn't he?
You know what? That was because
Do you
Ferguson
think Khabib is a better striker than Tony Ferguson?
I don't think Khabib is a better striker than Tony Ferguson, but I don't think Tony Ferguson versus Gaethje was the same Tony Ferguson we've seen in the past. There was something off with his strategy, the fight. There was something that was missing, and it showed in that fight. So if you don't have everything, you can make another fighter look extremely good.
Yeah, I don't know
I
why.
am giving it to Gaethje. Gaethje's an amazing fighter. I am, dude. I am. But let's not forget, you're fighting Khabib.
You got to give it to him,
Of course
AJ.
not, because he's fighting Khabib.
Yeah.
I got to give it to Khabib on this one, man.
And I'll give you another one, all right? I'm going to end it on this.
You know what? I'm happy.
We're going to end it. We're going to go on to some other fights. We got other fights to talk about here, AJ. We're not going to be here all night.
It's only about Khabib tonight.
Take it easy.
It's only Khabib, dude.
Justin Gaethje's coach, Trevor Whitman. Very good MMA coach. Very good strategy. One of the best in the game. He brought in Rose Namajunas, was coaching her when she put out Joanna Jędrzejczyk, ended her undefeated streak, put her out in the first round. No one saw that shit coming. Just saying, Trevor Whitman. Believe in that guy, all right? Smart man.
Yeah, what about Javier Mendez? How about Khabib's dad that was coached? Let's not forget
Khabib's dad's not around anymore. Khabib doesn't have his dad.
But
you know? I don't know.
Well, you know
that might hurt Khabib.
Regardless,
he was his head coach. He lost his head coach. That's That's not
for sure. And you're gonna be. The only thing I can see is you can fight on emotion, and most of the time when you can fight on emotion, generally you'll achieve the goal that you want.
You know as well as I do. You're not supposed to fight on emotion. And plus, Khabib's Russian.
Dude,
you think he's going to be fighting on emotion?
emotion?
Khabib doesn't fight on emotion. Khabib is stone
cold.
Cold.
He is stone cold. But like anybody else, when you get into a fight, there's fear, there's nerves, there's whatever. And then once the fight goes, it becomes a different world. You get back to the game, but you don't change that game plan. But
ask
the thing
Fedor
is
if he ever fought
fight,
on emotion. Get out of here.
I'm sure Fedor's fought with some anger in him at some point. There's no doubt about it. you start insulting someone and his family, you can see the way Khabib almost ended Connor's life because of all that backlash and trash talk.
Yeah, Khabib was pissed. He almost tried to attack his corner after. Khabib was pissed. You're right. Yeah.
Look, he almost tried to break Connor's neck there, and you know what? This is a fight that he does. In this fight, he has no ill will towards Justin Gaethje. In fact, listening to the press conferences and other facts, there was one point where Justin Gaethje actually helped Khabib in cutting weight at one point. This is years back. It's not like they're friends or anything, but Justin Gaethje is an A1 guy. There's no doubt about it. He's an awesome guy, and I'm picking Khabib. I'm going to go with the hard points on Khabib. But Justin Gaethje is a fantastic fighter, deserves to be a champion if Khabib wasn't there. He comes from old school. He respects like everything from his family's sacrifices to getting him to where he is today. He has a lot of respect, this guy. This guy is awesome. And Khabib loves him. Khabib knows that he doesn't have any ill will, but he needs to win. And he's going to fight in honor of his father. So there is some emotion there. And when he gets into the ring, he's going to be thinking of his father and that win. And he wants that 30th win. That's what he promised his father. And I'm telling you, he's going to deliver.
Well, look, I would not be mad if Khabib did win, because then he might actually fight GSP and we could see that fight, which would be cool, So there's that. How about the co-main event?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if Khabib loses, GSP probably goes back to retirement. So.
That's it. If Khabib loses, there's no GSP fight. Like, that's it. GSP's not coming out. If Khabib wins, we might have this GSP Khabib fight, but Freddie and I are thinking that Khabib will not win. So there you have that. But
GSP haters.
AJ obviously
GSP haters.
We love George, but AJ's on the Khabib bandwagon, and George would beat Khabib too. AJ on the Khabib bandwagon,
Smash.
Obviously with the hat and the fake beard that he's rocking. You got the Khabib hat.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something.
It's a nice hat,
I didn't
AJ.
need to wear
it's
this
nice.
beard, but
is
did
it
you
warm?
notice? You didn't notice something? Dude, I'm sweating buckets with this thing. I can't wait till we have a snowstorm here in Montreal, because I'm wearing this. If anybody sees me in the streets, you're gonna know. Oh, that's AJ. But listen, I didn't need to wear this beard, but I had a little Manscaped accident this week, and I decided to go above, the equator, and use it to trim my beard, and I got a little something happened, so I had to shave my beard.
Should we do the commercial now? Because you kind of
Manscaped.
Talk to us about Manscaped.
Do it, because it's awesome. Manscaped. Let me tell you something about Manscaped. The San Francisco Giants believe that they're going to win the Super Bowl because of Manscaped. It's all about Manscaped. They have less weight on their. You didn't know that? They're the official sponsors to the San Francisco Giants. Manscaped.
AJ, the San Francisco Giants are a baseball team. The Super Bowl is a football team.
Sorry. San Francisco 49ers. I apologize. I was losing it there. That's what happens when you drink too much Jones juice. But, yeah, so it's the 49ers. I apologize. The San Francisco 49ers are being promoted by Manscaped or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Manscaped is the product that you need. If you have a date, you need to rekindle your marriage. You need to, shed those COVID weight. I know what I'm talking about. Use Manscaped. It helps. Below the bush, above the bush, you need a Manscaped. And with our Ringside 2, is it 2.0 or 220? What is it?
Why did I let AJ do the commercial, Fred? I always do the commercials.
What is it?
And I see it's for a reason. AJ, you're always talking about how great of a salesman you are and marketing this and da-da-da-da-da. I try to let you do one Manscaped commercial that we do every week.
Well, you put me on the spot,
and you can't even do it. You have the product. You don't even know what it's called. It's the Lawnmower 3.0. You get it at manscaped.com.
Yes.
Shut up, AJ.
I didn't get a chance to finish.
Shut up, AJ. I'm doing the fucking commercial now. Shut your mouth.
What are you going to do? You're going to trump me out, man? You're going to trump me out, Dave?
I'll come over there and I'll whoop your ass. When's the last time you did jiu-jitsu? Get it together.
That's what I was trying to say with the Manscaped.
It's been a while. Yeah, well, I did jiu-jitsu today. Don't tell anybody. And
David?
Don't worry. And Manscaped, you got to Manscaped because not only do you need the Lawnmower 3.0 to keep everything trim down there, you also need some of that ball deodorant to keep your balls smelling fresh when you're in a, top north-south position. You got maybe your balls in somebody's face. You know, you want them to smell good because look, that your training partner is your friend. They're already in enough discomfort because you're on top of them in north-south. They don't like that. Plus, you're going to put your stinky balls in their face. That's no bueno. So what you want is Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code Ringside20. You get 20% off your order plus free shipping. You see? Manscaped.com, promo code Ringside20. 20% off your order, free shipping. And, you know, that's how it all works, okay? And, you know,
that's how I sounded.
It's not, no, you didn't do it at all. You got the wrong everything. But, you know, it's great, Manscaped. They really have fantastic products, and it is really good for jiu-jitsu. You know, there's one of these, you know, there's this move. I don't know what you call it, AJ, but I like to do it. It's like you're in like top half, and then you go
reverse triangle.
No, and then you go for like an arm bar, but then you know, in top half, you're kind of maybe like an Americana, and then you slink your way up, and then you wrap your legs around the neck, and you just like pin your knees to the neck and squeeze. It's a very good choke. I don't know what it's called, though, but it works very well. What's that called, AJ? Come on, expert.
I don't know what that is, like some weird stuff.
You know what I'm talking about?
But the thing is that I keep to the base. Yeah, I don't even know what it's called.
But you know listen, the choke, right?
If you want... Is it from your back? You're reversing into your back? Like I was thinking you were going into a reverse triangle.
No, I'm like
what's your objective here? To get an armbar?
Yeah, kind of, but then the choke just comes instead. You're like kind of going for like you know when you do a Kimura on top, you wrap your leg under. You know how Luke Rockhold Kimura'd Michael Bisping when they fought? He kind of wrapped his leg around under his head. Well, don't worry. This is real technical jiu-jitsu
I think
stuff.
I know what you're talking
really
about.
Matter.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But it's a choke. Okay, it's a good choke.
It's almost like a and
I'm saying you better be Manscaped
so it's almost like
when
a
you're applying that choke.
Yeah, okay. You're on your knees almost, except that you close your legs and you do the Kimura, correct? Your balls are not closer than a north-south.
There's no Kimura. It's a leg choke. It's legs around the neck choke. It doesn't matter, AJ. Well, I'll show you.
Why don't you just do it? Show it to us.
Because
do a video and we'll be able to figure it out.
Okay, I'll do a video and I'll send it to you.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's right. AJ, when's the last time you did jiu-jitsu?
Listen, man, 2020 has been a horrible year.
Fred can't do jiu-jitsu because his balls are hurt. Fred, how's your balls?
What number are we at today? What's the number?
Well, Fred got a vasectomy. Fred got his vasectomy last week. How did it go, Fred? It went all right?
It wasn't fun, but it went all right, man. Like I said, like the worst part was the anesthesia, and it basically felt like a knee to the balls. Like, you know when somebody wants to slice through your guard and they like squeeze your balls with a knee? That's basically what it felt like, times 100. But other than that, it wasn't too bad, man. It went well. A couple of days, ice. Got my girlfriend to do pretty much everything for a couple of days. So
that's right. On your back, you don't have to do anything. So we talked about it last week. Well, AJ, take it easy. Hold on. So we talked about it last week, and Fred said to us that even though you have a vasectomy, the doctor told him that there are still 45 shots after the vasectomy that could still impregnate. So he has 45 times. So I said, hey, we should count it down, on the show and see how many he's at. And then when he gets to 44, maybe save the last one for a special occasion or something, or
champagne, the whole
yeah, exactly. Yeah, awesome, really, class it up for himself. But Fred told me, I already asked Fred earlier today because I'm curious, and Fred told me that you had to wait a week, right, Fred? So you got the vasectomy last Friday, so you can't do anything with your gimmick until tomorrow,
not even with myself.
Not even with yourself or with a loved one, till tomorrow or Saturday. Is it a full 7 days or what's the deal? Is it because you got it last Friday? So is it Friday or Saturday?
Well, I got it last Friday, and basically the doctor says 7 days. So to me, I got it Friday afternoon, so Friday night, that's more than 7 days. I
All
should
right.
be good.
All right, so the
Dr.
countdown
Fred
is on.
says so.
So the countdown is
But
on.
for some reason, jiu-jitsu is 10 days, because I asked the doctor, I go, when can I do jiu-jitsu? And he said 10 days for jiu-jitsu. And after that, he told me, like, but you're not allowed right now, with a big smile, talking about the pandemic. And I'm like, and I just told him, yeah, but, they might change their mind. So I just want to know in case if I could do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 days for jiu-jitsu. So Tuesday, I might be doing jiu-jitsu, but I won't be.
Dude, I would hold off,
but
man.
I might be.
Listen,
Yeah.
anybody touches your nuts, just wait at least 2 weeks, dude. Wait at least 2 weeks. How do you go to the bathroom? It must hurt like crazy. No?
Man, it's all right, man.
Jesus.
Look, I'm gonna be very graphic. I'm gonna be very graphic. Okay? They take a needle.
Oh God.
And they go in each one of your balls. Okay?
Oh no.
And
That's
they
crazy.
they
No.
put the anesthesia in each one of your balls,
Oh.
and it hurts, man.
Oh.
But after that, you're frozen and you don't feel anything, man. It's not that bad, man. Trust me. Look, I've been through.
It's not that great.
I've been through an appendix that busted. I've been through a couple of root canals. Like that was nothing, man. Vasectomy was easy, bro. Come on, man.
Jesus, that doesn't sound so
Don't be
easy
scared,
to me.
homie.
A needle to each ball. Oh.
On the second one, also, I moved, so you had to go for a third time, man. The fucker.
Oh.
Murphy.
Yeah, the second one kind of hurt.
Oh my God! Couldn't they put you unconscious for that? Like knock me out and then put needles on my balls? Forget about it. I don't want to be conscious for needles to the balls.
What did they say about the Manscaped, by the way? Did you tell them that you were using
Did you do a good
Manscaped?
job? Yeah. Did
And
they send you back, Fred?
Yeah, did you say
No,
ringside
no.
2-0?
No, when I got there, he told me to drop my pants. He took his little flashlight, looked around, and he said, "We're good to go." told me to lay on my back. Asked me if I was nervous. I told him a little bit, and he went for it.
He gave you a
Are
fucking
you nervous?
inspection, a
Yeah.
dick inspection, and you passed.
Well, thanks to Manscaped.
Thanks to
Thanks to Manscaped, Fred has been a success. Bravo, Manscaped. Bravo. So if you want to be like Freddie, use Manscaped. Ringside 2-0.
Manscaped.com. Use that promo code Ringside20. Get the Lawnmower 3.0 just like Fred did, so he passed his
Freddie, I told you should have
exam.
taken a picture when that was going on. You should have taken a picture. It would have been good for advertisement.
Fred, you've taken us on a ride.
Good.
Hi, I'm just. Oh, God.
Who was the guy? Who was that
Needles.
guy a couple of weeks back in the fights that he got kneed so many times that he started crying in?
Oh
in
my
the,
God! Hold
octagon?
on, hold on.
You remember that?
Oh,
David, what the hell?
I don't know. We needed.
David, you okay? Did you have an orgasm there? or
I needed
what?
a breath
What the hell
there. That was crazy. We needed to take a break.
No, that is
Remember
a big
that-
graphic there.
Wow.
What was the injury George St. Pierre had against Thiago Alves? I think it was like he
Tore his
busted one
groin.
of his nuts.
Tore his groin.
Yeah.
He said, I
I've
think I
seen
tore my
his heart,
groin.
it's bad.
And then Greg Jackson says in the corner, I don't care. Hit him with it. That was great. That was great.
I wouldn't hit anybody with my balls right now.
Yeah. So, Fred, you're going to keep us posted. You're going to count us down until the 45 are
I feel you're giving me
through.
some pressure, man.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, like,
it is pressure.
You gotta understand, man. When you got two kids, man, unfortunately, life
I understand.
isn't always as.
No, I
You
understand.
only have one, man, and you're struggling to make a second one. You see, so imagine
I'm not.
with two.
We're
how
not
much I'll
trying to make
struggle.
it. We're not trying to do that, Fred. We're not trying to make a second one, Fred.
You know
should.
who
Oh
we
my
needed
God.
to save Fred's nuts? Instead, we should have got like Trojan condoms or something, and we would have been able to give Freddie like a lifetime supply of condoms, and that was
Yeah,
it.
instead, yeah.
No massacring of the nuts.
Come on, AJ. Nobody loves condoms, man.
What are you talking
That's
about?
true. He's not wrong.
Have you ever
about
been
that.
downtown in some nightclub?
Yeah, all right. Let's
You
move
can get
on.
the ones that are like ribbed, chicken
Oh my
heads. You
God.
can get all kinds of stuff. Strawberry
gone-
flavor.
We've gone too far. It's gone
Chicken
too far.
flavor.
Can we finish previewing
Hey.
the UFC 254 card, please?
Ask
You
Bill
want to do
Clinton.
that?
He knows.
All right. Fred has put a time limit on this show, so you better stick to the program, AJ.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Where are we at? Where are we at?
We're like 40 minutes in here, brother. Get it together.
At least my condition will make that I won't pull off a thing like that CNN dude. You know, I won't start.
What the hell was that all about?
You won't start
part
pulling your old tubing? Pulling the tubing. I think that's what we call it. Yanking the tubing.
Dude, that's a good one.
Dude, what's the matter with this world, man? These guys are like high level like journalists. They're on CNN.
Who's in
They're
a
on
Zoom meeting jacking
the guy
off?
Pulled a whack.
And
like,
he's like
seriously?
60 years old. You would think that once you get to AJ's age, you wouldn't do these types of things.
It tends to happen a lot more, it seems. But let me tell you something. Let's think about this. Way back in time, if we go back in time, we look at a guy like Pee Wee Herman that was caught whacking off in a porn theater. I mean, that's not so bad nowadays. That's not a big deal. This guy's on a Zoom meeting, dude. He's probably talking about, like, economics, COVID, world issues, and he's pulling a whack. Now that, my friend, is creepy. Pee Wee Herman.
When you started saying that,
Pee Wee Herman,
I realized like you couldn't see my other hand, and I was like, just make sure. I got a desk here. You never know what might be going on under here.
Don't pull a whack on my Khabib head, man.
Imagine I'm like jacking it during the show while talking to you guys. That would be weird.
Dude, that guy did. So
I know that's what he was doing. It was like a business thing and like Zoom meeting, and he's like jacking it at the same time.
Man?
Well, it was like a CNN
meeting.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
dude,
strange. Very strange behavior. I think like it's just a matter of a guy not understanding technology, which AJ, you know, as a man of his age, you can totally understand not understanding technology. Right? You get it. AJ, you struggle with technology. You know how you struggle?
Dude, but I know. Listen, I can struggle, but I know I'm not gonna pull a wacko on a meeting. There we go.
There's how you struggle. There's how you struggle. There's how you struggle with technology, AJ. Our production staff had to make this picture because if you notice, sometimes you can't hear AJ that well. That's because his microphone is way up there by his eyes, and the production staff says, "See, AJ, you and Fred have the same mic, but for some reason, Fred's mic's always perfect and yours is wrong because your mouth is there." And your mic is up there. See where Fred's mouth is and Fred's mic? See that there's an arrow pointing to it? See, he's doing it correctly, AJ. So our staff made that because, you know, you're not great at technology and sometimes AJ needs a little help.
Listen, like Trump says, I believe that is fake news. I think
not.
That was doctored in Photoshop. No,
it was a bit with the arrows, but other than the mic placement is exactly where it was, which is funny.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we started the before the show. I was like, AJ, I can't hear you for some reason. It's because your mic was like in your hat. It was just terrible. All right, Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier.
Oh yeah, Whittaker. What's happening over there?
Yeah, you're welcome. Didn't Freddie and I get that for you for your birthday or something last year? Was that the deal?
Exactly,
was it for your birthday or Christmas?
That was the deal.
I forget.
No, it was for my birthday. This year was last year was Khabib. This year was Connor. Where's Connor? Where's my buddy Connor?
Oh yeah.
Where's Connor? There he is.
Oh, there's a theme, eh? Khabib, Connor. Next year will be Nate Diaz, some sort of Nate Diaz merch. I'll send Nate Diaz
big joint?
Yeah, I'll just send like Diaz. The Diaz brothers will release some sort of brand of weed, and we'll buy some. I mean, if they had some, we'd buy some, right, Fred? I mean, it wouldn't take much, right? Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier. Can we do it? Can we finally get to this goddamn fight? Cannonier -110, Whittaker -110. It's a pick'em. Odds makers don't know where to go. Let's help them out. I'm going to go with the former champion, Robert Whittaker. He's 29 years old. He's a very good fighter. He moves really well. I don't know if he's as powerful as Cannonier, but, man, he is just a high-level mixed martial artist. I think that we're going to see Robert Whittaker fight Israel Adesanya once again. Maybe after this fight here, if Whittaker's impressive enough. It's a 3-rounder co-main event. Cannonier's 36. He's had a good run here at 185 pounds. He's undefeated. But who has he beat? He beat David Branch. He beat an aging Anderson Silva. Silva really hurt himself there in a leg kick. And Jack Hermanson, who is very good, and that is a legitimate win. But you look at what Robert Whittaker has accomplished in his career so far in the UFC. He's beat some of the top guys in the division. Jacare, Yoel Romero twice. Uriah Hall. He's beat some top guys. Darren Till in his last fight. Yeah, he got knocked out by Israel Adesanya, but Robert Whittaker is still a very young fighter, despite the fact that he's been a champion. 29 years old, like I said. I think he's just going to be coming into his prime in the next year or two. I've got Robert Whittaker to beat Cannonier. I think he wins this fight by decision, 3 rounds. Whittaker, 30-27, 29-28, something like that. He's going to win.
Yeah, I got Whittaker also by decision. But if anything, I'll say that a pick him odds is what this fight should be. Like, I feel it could go either way. But I'm going to go with Whittaker. I think, like you said, he's younger. He's been a champ before. He's fought better competition overall. Robert Whittaker by decision.
AJ?
Look, it's a tough one, too. I mean, we can't forget that Whittaker is a beast. He was a champion, and he was a champion there for a reason. You know, he had a bad fight with Adesanya. That's the only bad thing. After that, he had, like, unfortunate situation. He had appendicitis. He really had, like, a really bad flow for a bit. You know, he had a bit of depression in which he was battling. There was all kinds of stuff. But you know what? He lost love of his fight in MMA, and he's regained it. So by regaining it, you know, that's dangerous enough. I mean, and you can't take away from Cannonier, the guy who was a heavyweight that came down to 185. This guy was, like, knocking people out. And now, man, he looks in top shape. He looks like he can kill the world. But he's fighting Whittaker, and I think Whittaker is probably going to win this fight by decision. And you know what? We could be wrong, but we're all going with Whittaker on this, it seems.
Interesting. We all got Whittaker in the co-main event. It's a pick'em, but we are all picking Robert Whittaker. I think that should tell you something here going into the weekend. Alexander Volkov taking on Walt Harris. It's a solid heavyweight fight. Volkov minus 175, the favorite. Harris plus 155. Yeah, seems about right. I think Harris has a chance. You know, it's a heavyweight fight. Harris has a lot of power, but Volkov is a big, tall fighter, rangy. I think he probably takes it, but I could see Harris knocking out Alexander Volkov. I could see Volkov knocking out Walt Harris. You know, this one is tough to call, but I'd go with Volkov. I'd lean towards Volkov. What do you think, AJ?
Look, he's definitely a step above Harris, and it's unfortunate because Harris, I like this guy. He's like the gentle giant. You know, he's gone through such a tough time in his life the last couple of years. You know, the loss of his daughter who was murdered by some idiot. And, you know, he came back and he's fought. But, you know, Walt Harris is not at a point to be a champion at this point in his career. And you know, Volkov is going to take the win. I mean, you know, he's a bigger man. You know, he has a lot more precision in his striking. You know, even to the ground, man. He's got a great ground game. And, yeah, it's going to be hard. But it's a pick-em fight as well. But really, I'll lean towards Volkov on this.
Freddie?
It's not a pick-em fight. And
well, it's a hard one to call because, you know what? Look, what
Volkov
I'm trying to say
is the favorite, though.
Look, all it takes is Cannonier, you know, all it takes is that one punch of his. Remember, he was a heavyweight. He was a heavyweight, this guy, who's gone down to 185. His power hasn't lost, and he's in top shape. All he has to do is deliver one punch. He can knock him out. But the thing is that you got to go with the veteran experience here. You got to go with, you know, with overall factors, and that's why. Look, it's hard, man. I'm going to go with Volkov, but I'm not 100% sure on this one.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, I got a Harris. By the way, it's Harris that's fighting Volkov tomorrow, and not Cannonier. But
oh, sorry, Harris. I apologize. I'm losing. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna go with Harris because Volkov, like, he has some nice wins. You know, he defeated Verdum, Struve, Nelson. But in recent fights, I didn't like his performance against Greg Hardy, and he lost his last fight against Curtis Blades. I'm not that high on Volkov. I'm going to take a chance on Walt Harris here.
Yeah, I can see
Curtis
Harris
Blades
win.
is like, yeah, but it's like no chump Curtis Blades. So by losing to Curtis Blades, it's you know, it's not like you're losing to Hardy, you know. But what? Look, it's a tough fight to call, man. This is this could be a knockout fight.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
Whoever delivers the punch.
I'm not convinced either way on this fight. I think it could go either way. I'm a little surprised that Volkov is such a heavy favorite. I would go with him, but, you know, I think it's a coin toss type of fight. Lauren Murphy taking on Lilia Shakirova. Shakirova is going to be making her UFC debut here. She is 8-1, and she is coming in as an underdog, plus 175. Lauren Murphy, minus 210. That's on the pay-per-view. That's, whatever. Sorry.
Look, look. This one is sort of a mystery. She's coming in. And you know what? No one knows about her. And if you look at her overall record, she was 8-1. If you look at her history, like this girl here she beat what's her name, Meng Bo from China. She's the only one who ever beat Weili Zhang. She was a top one championship fighter. So this girl, Shakirova, has beaten people at high level in that world of MMA. Coming into the UFC as an unknown, I'm telling you, go with her, because her credentials, on top of her being a top grappler as well, I would lean towards her. Lauren Murphy is good, but you know what? Not enough to say that.
Did you say she beat Weili Zhang?
No, she beat the opponent that beat Weili Zhang. She destroyed her. She was the #1 contender. So if you could beat the girl that beat Weili Zhang, that to me stands out.
So you're picking her
more than anything else.
You're picking Shakirova to beat Murphy?
I'm picking Shakirova, man.
Yeah, I think it could be an upset there. Okay, there's another fight on this pay-per-view.
She trains with Kamzat as well, right? So let's not forget that.
Jacob Malkoun takes on Phil Haas. Malkoun is an undefeated middleweight from Australia. I don't know much about these guys. I want to go to Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Kutalaba. This is a rematch. Magomed is the guy. I've been telling you about this guy, 28 years old, from Dagestan, Russia. They had a fight. Magomed won by TKO. Apparently, Kutalaba was just kind of pretending he was wobbled, but not really wobbled. He wasn't fully out. They want to do a rematch. They've been trying to do this rematch since the fight happened in late February, but Kutalaba had COVID. There was all sorts of COVID issues for a while there.
He had it twice.
Yeah, he had it twice, they had to cancel the fight 4 or 5 times. But finally, I think we're going to get this fight here on Saturday night. And, of course, I'm going with my man Magomed Ankalaev. Now that John Jones is out of the way, this is Magomed's division. I thought Magomed might have been the guy to beat John Jones, but now John Jones isn't the light heavyweight champion anymore. It's like smooth sailing for Magomed all the way to the championship, baby. Magomed is going to be the guy to beat Jan Blachowicz. Mark it down now. Dave told you, October 22nd, 2020, Magomed Ankalaev will be the man to beat Jan Blachowicz or whoever is the light heavyweight champion when they give Magomed his shot. Minus 310 the favorite over Jan Kutalaba. It ended by TKO in the first round last time. Kutalaba might not have been finished then. He'll be finished this time. Magomed, my knockout. But I don't know if it'll be in the first, maybe second or third. But I got Magomed to smash. I'm all about Ankalaev. This is the guy you need to watch out for in the 205-pound weight division. Magomed, baby. AJ, you with me?
Listen, man, you've been saying Magomed for the longest time. So it's not only now in October. You've been talking about this guy for at least a year and a half. And you know what? The last time they fought, there was no question about it. Kutalaba's legs were spaghetti. People can say what they want, which is a very small portion, but there was no way that the fight should have not been stopped. It was done. He was done. And Magomed, on this fight, he's going to give him the same medicine. Corona saved him twice. He should have stuck with that, because coming into this fight, he's going to get knocked out. If it doesn't happen in the first, it'll happen in the second.
I love it. Freddie, you going with Magomed too? You got to. You got to, baby.
I just want this fight to get done so he could fight somebody else. It feels like all we're talking about this guy is Ion Kuntalaba or whatever you pronounce his name there. So I hope Magomed wins aggressive, and we could move on to somebody else.
Speaking of future champions, I talk about Magomed at 205, but at heavyweight, I think a guy we all think has a shot at being a future champion, Cyril Gane. We've been talking about him since before he was even in the UFC. Big man from France. This guy is just a monster, and we haven't talked about it on the show, but I don't know if you guys heard. Dana White said that they're trying to do Cyril Gane versus Junior Dos Santos, so he's going to be stepping up big time in competition, and they're going to give him a former champion JDS, which is going to be sick. Once Cyril Gane smashes Junior Dos Santos and knocks his ass out, by God, man, people are going to really start to take notice of this guy, and we've been telling you for years now, Cyril Gane is the man, and he's going to smash everybody at heavyweight, and Magomed Ankalaev, I think, is in the same type of level, man. I like Magomed a lot.
Dave.
You know, there's a lot of picks. You know, a lot of hyped guys in the UFC. You know, a lot of guys that the Sean O'Malley's of the world and different guys with a lot of hype. But there are some guys that deserve the hype that don't really get it, and we see those guys. You know, like I saw Khabib. I remember when Khabib beat Kamal Shalarus. I think it was his first UFC fight, and I was like, holy shit, Khabib just destroyed Kamal Shalarus. And Shalarus was no joke, man. The guy was a good wrestler, very tough guy, and Khabib made him look like he couldn't wrestle at all. And I knew back then, and I was telling you back then on the show, that Khabib was the man and Khabib was the future champion. So, you know, we have a track record of seeing these guys come in. And I see Magomed coming. I see Cyril Gane coming. And I see Justin Gaethje coming too, AJ. What's up?
And you know what? No, I was going to say about Cyril Gane. I mean, we didn't only see him. We actually saw him win the championship in Montreal. I mean, the guy was, like, devastating. And we said it from back then. We were talking about Cyril Gane before anybody in the MMA network around the world, other than his team in France, talked about Cyril Gane like we did. So Ringside Report, we talked about this guy. Not only we talk about him, we talk like after the fight, Cyril Gane came and he took pictures with us and he was yapping with us and we exchanged messages and he's put likes and whatnot on our show. But the truth of the matter is, you're right. There's some fighters out there that just don't get that hype train. And it's unfortunate because Cyril Gane, unfortunately, on the last fight, there was some visa issues. No, there was actually legality issues with contract with his former MMA association. But Cyril Gane fighting Junior Dos Santos.
The opponent for Gane.
The opponent, that's right. For Gane, exactly. And the thing is, Cyril Gane fighting Junior Dos Santos, if he performs like he usually does and wins big, I mean, people are going to start talking about Cyril Gane on that like hype train. But you know what? That's the thing, you know, like Ringside Report, like we got a chance to see guys like from start. We've seen a lot of great fighters, some fighters that didn't make it. But you know what? The bottom line is that there's so much talent out there, you know, and it's hard to say because
you got to give it to him, AJ.
Guys,
here goes AJ.
You got to give it to him.
He's doing it again. He's doing the thing. You got to give it to him. Speech. Let's go to Stefan Struve.
I was about to say, you ruined it, man.
You got to give it to him. Stefan Struve and Tai Tuivasa are the main event of the prelim card. That's pretty good, man. I always like seeing Stefan Struve. I once stood next to Stefan Struve, and it was like crazy. That guy's so tall. It's a toss-up.
Did he step on you?
No, he's just huge. I mean, he could have. He was gigantic. He's like 7 feet tall. It was crazy. I stood next to him. I was interviewing him. I had a microphone, and I was like way up here. I was just like holding the microphone as high as I possibly could because he's that tall. And I'm not that tall.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, very nice guy. You know, the Dutch are usually pretty nice. You know, Overeem was a nice guy. Struve is a nice guy. I met both guys. Very nice guys. Dutch heavyweights, gentlemen, all the way. Fabricio Verdum, though, I'll tell you about him. No. Stefan Struve and Tai Tuivasa, it's a pick'em fight, minus 110 on either side. Who do you got here? I'm going to go with Tuivasa. I think Tuivasa, you know, big, powerful guy. It's not a good matchup for Stefan Struve. Tuivasa reminds me of, like, Mark Hunt a little bit. And, you know, Stefan Struve didn't do so well when he fought Mark Hunt. Stefan Struve lost a lot of fights by knockout. He hasn't fought any real tough guys in a while. I think he probably gets knocked unconscious in this fight. I'm going with Struve to lose. I'm going with Tai by knockout, baby.
Both guys have been doing a lot of losing recently, so
yeah.
Look, they've seen better times for sure. I'm gonna go with Struve. I always like Struve. Struve by decision.
But, like, Struve gets knocked out by a lot of different guys, and Tuivasa's been knocked out once, but it was Junior Dos Santos who did it. So, I don't know. Tuivasa has lost 3 in a row. It's a pick'em fight. Fred's going with Struve. I'm going with Tai. AJ, break the tie.
Lost to Sergey Spivak.
I know. I don't know who that is.
Who the hell is Sergey Spivak?
I don't know, Fred. You're right.
Spivak.
Okay.
You know...
I could name some jabronis that Struve has lost to, too, Fred. Who's Jared? Oh, man.
Wow.
And he was fighting Sean McCorkle. Remember Sean McCorkle? and Struve won that night by TKO. Man, that's how long that I've been doing this, man. That's how long we've been in this game, man. 2010. It just feels like it wasn't that long ago when I talked to Stefan Struve, but it was 10 years ago for his fight here, UFC 124. Crazy.
And you've accomplished more.
What was his record back then? Do you remember?
Years.
What's that? What's that, Fred?
47. Freddie, 47 years.
I said 47. I said you've accomplished more than Joe Biden in 47 years, man. Congrats.
Of course. Of course I have.
And let's not forget, tonight is the debate. So let's see that fight in the odds.
I only have one vote for president here, guys. There's only one man that should lead the nation.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
It's clear. It's on the shirt, baby.
What? Whalen for president?
That's right, baby.
There we go. Dave Simon, man, says it again.
Freddie,
10 years from now, Whalen will be president.
We may disagree. We may disagree on politics, but even you and I can agree. You know, we may stand on different sides of the aisle, brother. But even you and I can agree that if Waylon Jennings was president, it would probably be a better America. And he'd probably be a Republican, so you'd be all right with that, right? I mean, Waylon, let's be honest.
He'd probably vote for Trump.
Yeah, he probably would. Rest in peace, Waylon. Well, that's who I think should have. You know, Waylon or Kanye, whatever. Either or, I'm good. Yeezy.
Free shoes for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You know how stylish the White House would be if Kanye was there? It'd be sick, man. Oh my God. Kanye would make everything all right. Okay, guys.
Kanye would make it very easy.
Anything else? AJ, you want to gloat about being right last week before we wrap up?
Listen, man, it's not my fault, dude. I told you lightning doesn't hit 3 times. And it's not going to happen. On this card here, we're going to win with Struve. We're going to start off the night. As soon as I heard you go with Tuivasa, I'm like, it's going to be the same thing like last week. Me and Freddie are going to start again with the win, and we're going to end. Wait a sec. No, we're going to end with AJ winning it all because Khabib's winning it. Because you guys went the other way. So if you want to make money, guys, go with AJ's picks.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go with the parlay, go with Freddie.
How did it go last week, though?
Except for the main.
It was pretty much even, wasn't it, last week?
No.
Me and AJ had 3 and 2 because you picked the same picks I did. You copied my picks, and you had the same record as I had. And to beat the champion, you got to beat the champion. And since I won the previous week, I'm the champion. So
Fred is the current champion.
I'm gonna start trash talking a little bit.
No. The week before I won the main card, so that's what counts. No. That belt is mine, man. Don't let me smash you because I won the main card 2 weeks ago.
No,
we got to give props to Brian Ortega as well.
Fred is the current picks champion because he is the last guy to win a card to have more picks right than the other guys. Right? Isn't that correct,
what
Fred?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Fred I think is the picks champion.
Or the week before, me and Dave were equal, and then.
No,
I'm equal with,
but I picked Sanhagen, and you guys went with Moraes, and technically AJ wins because I won the main card, even though me and Freddie tied. So there, Freddie, the tiebreaker is I got the main event.
I never went 0 for
Sanhagen.
6. I never went 0 for 5. So.
Yeah. AJ, don't forget, this is pay-per-view.
Let's not forget.
You're not good prime time on pay-per-view. You're good with the little rinky-dink TV shows that we don't really pay attention to, that don't really matter. The last pay-per-view, UFC 253, you went 0 for 5, and I went 4 and 1. You were pretty bad. Don't forget, guys, don't forget, you both picked Paulo Costa to beat Israel Adesanya, and I picked Izzy. How'd that work out?
True. Listen, that was a bad night for me, but I was doing Rob a favor because he put out a comment saying, "Listen, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna bet opposite of what AJ says." So I did him a favor. I went with all the ones that were gonna lose so that he could win. See, AJ was doing a favor for Rob. So if you would have listened to me, you would have made good money on that card.
All right, let's recap our picks here for UFC 254. We are split on the Struve Tuivasa prelim fight. I've got Tuivasa, and AJ and Fred has Struve. We all have Magomed Ankalaev to smash Ian Kutalaba. The Lilia Shakirova fight, I don't know. I'm not really giving a pick for that because who knows? Forget it.
No, we're going with Shakirova. I gave Shakirova AJ.
I think I'm going to go with Shakirova too. I'm going to go with Shakirova too, but I don't know. Fred, what do you think there?
Flip-flopper.
Lauren Murphy, but I don't care.
Whoa. Okay,
exactly.
So
I feel the same way.
Let me write this down.
Yeah, write it down. I'm going to go with Volkov over Harris. What did you have, Fred?
I have Harris.
All right, and AJ has Harris too, right?
Whittaker,
AJ, you had Harris too, right?
No, I had
Volkov.
I had
All right.
Volkov on this one. Yeah.
AJ has Volkov. We all are taking Robert Whittaker over Jared Cannonier. Freddie and I going with Justin Gaethje to beat Khabib Nurmagomedov. AJ, of course, dressed as Khabib, going with Khabib. So AJ's got Khabib. Freddie and I have Justin Gaethje. We're all going with Robert Whittaker. AJ and I going with Volkov. Fred going with Harris. AJ and I going with
What about Whittaker?
AJ and I... What? Whittaker.
What did you say? Who took Whittaker?
We're all taking Whittaker over
all
Cannonier. All three of us. Pay attention to the show.
Okay.
AJ and I going with Shakirova over Murphy. Fred going with Murphy. We all go with Magomed Ankalaev. And Freddie and AJ with Struve. And I'm going with Tai Tuivasa. We're not giving a pick for the Jacob Malkoun Phil Haas fight. It shouldn't be on pay-per-view. Neither of these guys even have Wikipedia pages. So what the fuck are they doing on pay-per-view? That's my question to you. Don't forget to support our sponsors. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code RINGSIDE20 for 20% off your order plus free shipping on all the tremendous Manscaped products. Pass the penis test like Fred did with Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code RINGSIDE20. And also Stitcher. Go to stitcher.com/premium. Use the promo code Ringside to get a free month when you sign up. It is great audio service. Stitcher.com/premium, promo code Ringside for a free month. And IP Vanish. Protect yourself on the internet. Protect yourself at all times with IP Vanish. Go to vpn.ringsidereport.net. We've got a lot of big things coming here on the channel. Wrestling Uncensored will be on Saturday morning for a final time on a Saturday morning. Wrestling Uncensored is going to be moving to a new time. It's going to be on Friday nights coming up real soon, okay? Friday nights, live for all of you. Wrestling Uncensored is going live. We're going to go on Friday nights, and we're going to be talking shit after SmackDown. We're going to be changing things for the wrestling coverage on the channel. Get ready for new stuff, better stuff, things happening. It's a big weekend in MMA. Saturday afternoon, UFC 254 watch-along. We're going to be here live. 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday afternoon, right here on the channel. We're going to be watching UFC 254 with you. Are Freddie and I right? Will Justin Gaethje win, or will AJ be right? Will Khabib win? Will AJ be dressed up like Khabib for the Khabib fight? Probably. Johnny North and I will be back on Sunday night for WWE Hell in a Cell. A WWE pay-per-view coming up Sunday night, so we will do the watch-along for that Sunday night, 7 p.m. It's a big weekend here on the channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitch, subscribe. If you're liking on Facebook, like the page. We appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the things that you do. Doesn't take much to like, doesn't take much to subscribe. But I'll tell you, it helps us out a great deal, helps us grow the channel, helps us get this show to more eyeballs. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more people to watch the show. Tell your friends, if they like MMA, they should be watching Ringside Report MMA, the best MMA coverage in the business. Nobody does MMA like we do. That is a fact, Jack. Nobody in the MMA space. Look around. We're in the MMA space. We see it. Nobody covers MMA like the Ringside Report boys, right? Nobody else does it like us. We are the only show that does this. Nobody else is breaking down a Khabib Nurmagomedov fight dressed as Khabib Nurmagomedov. It doesn't happen, baby. Only here. We're bringing you that real raw shit that you love, okay? It's here for you.
Jeez,
AJ?
Dude, you sound so good, man. I want to listen to the show. Sounds great, man.
It's a good show. We just did it. It's over. Thanks, everybody. Go to ringsidereport.net for more on everything that we do. Check out my other show, Irreparable Damage. Go to irreparabledamageshow.com. I was on fire this morning. I did a show this morning.
You mad at the poor guy again?
No, we're good. We're all good. IrreparableDamageShow.com. Watch the show. New one dropped this morning. That's it. That's all. We'll be back this weekend. Freddie likes Cracker Jack. We're gonna go see Donald Trump and Joe Biden yell at each other for a while. Is that what we're gonna go watch now? All right.
Trump's pretty.
What's the odds on that?
Supposedly right now. So
He's what? He's on. He's killing it. According to Fred's Twitter feed, which is like all.
He's calm.
He's calm. That's crazy.
He's calm.
All right. Well, good for
He
him.
smoked a Tyson blunt. That's what he did.
Oh, good. That'll help. All right, guys. We'll see you Saturday afternoon. Wrestling Uncensored will be back Saturday morning, 11 a.m., but it'll be the last time we're on a Saturday morning. We're going to move to Fridays with more on that coming up Saturday morning. We'll tell you about that. I think Johnny North is probably just getting the news right now, so there you go, Johnny. That's for you. And, yeah, Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m., right here. Be here. We'll be here to watch UFC 254 with you.